actually only 2 more examples left in these notes, but these ones are a little different, and you're going to notice that there's already numbers there. So the biggest thing when solving quadratics is that you have to have it set equal to 0. So we're going to have to move some values. So in number 5, the first thing you're going to have to do is subtract this 3 over. Okay, that leaves you a 7x squared plus 63 equals 0. Now you're going to notice something, and hopefully your brain's kind of turning on this. We subtracted this 3 over because I said you had to have equal to 0, okay? And that's correct. But you eventually have to move this 63 back over. So ultimately, you could have actually just subtracted the 66 over and skipped out some steps, okay? And there's nothing wrong with what we did, okay? It's just, that's what the rules say to do, so we did it, okay? So we subtracted 63 over, we divide by 7, and we get x squared equals negative 9. Now, let's think this through. 3 squared is 9. Negative 3 times negative 3, so negative 3 squared is 9. So neither of those answers are negative, and we don't have a negative sitting out in front of this x squared, so we can't get rid of this negative. And if you were to type it into your calculator, you get an error, okay? I'm not going to pull it up and show you, but if you were right now to type in the square root of negative 9, you will get an error on your thing, or it will say undefined, okay? So we talked about it a little bit, and what that actually turns out to equal is 3i, because the square root of negative 1 equals I, and the square root of 9 is 3. This is an imaginary number. This is an algebra 2 situation. So we're not quite there yet. So for us in algebra 1, it's no solution. So if you get, if you get a negative answer after you have isolated the x squared by itself, keyword, after you have isolated the x squared by itself and you get a negative answer, there will be no solution. However, if there's something other than a 1 in front of the x squared, you still have more to do before you can determine if there's a solution or not one, okay? So number 6, instead of subtracting the 75 over and then moving it back over, we're just going to subtract the 3 right away, which gives us 72. We're going to multiply by 2 instead of dividing by a half, and we get 144. We're going to take the square root of both sides. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 144 is 12, but we know 12 squared is 144, and negative 12 squared is 144. So our answer is x equals plus or minus 12. All right, so this process is not very difficult. It's just a step up of what we solved when we started solving equations at the beginning of the year. And I warned you in the beginning of the year, you're going to be solving with something that's a little bit more work than what we did. It's really important to know how to solve equations, and this is a prime example. So hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out, okay? Have a good one.